Hi everyone. No planning, just a simple subject in your imagination, or a flower, a shell. In this case, I used poppies. Painting with your eyes closed. Yes, your eyes closed. Or another way of doing it would be to perhaps have a subject in front of you, like a vase, and get some paper and a pen, and instead of closing your eyes, keep an eye on the subject and just keep looking at the subject and drawing what you've looked at. You need to look at your subject for about a minute or 2 minutes just to observe the shapes and just put the basic detail in. This one I did fairly abstract again, blind, partially with my eyes closed, of shells. It's such great fun and it's a great way of loosening up. I think little Ted though might find it quite hard to close his eyes. Ready? Let's get painting. I'm looking at these lovely shells. They've got such lovely markings on. This lovely cuttlefish. So I want to try and put some texture in with pastel. And this lovely one with ridges there. I'm not sure if it's an oyster shell. And this is a beautiful one. I love the long shape of it. It looks like it's been stretched. That's another one. And this is a mussel shell, I believe, with barnacles or something on it. Well, to start with, I'm going to use oil pastel to render the sand in a mustard colour. This is beautiful Somerset paper, which I'm going back to lately. It's a pastel paper, but you can use it for watercolour and pastel, and it creates wonderful soft effects. Well, now I'm going to close my eyes, and I'm just going to get a feel of how big the paper is by moving my hand round and starting now broadside, just rendering some marks that could be sand or something like that. I'm on the beach and I'm just thinking about the waves and shells that are there, and this is going to be like a bit of an abstract sketch because my eyes, remember, are tight shut. I'm feeling a bit where the edge of the paper is. I could have put newspaper down, but as I'm not using acrylic inks or watercolour, I think I'll just manage like this. So I think I'm done. Yes, I've opened my eyes now. Well, that's okay, I can go with that, I can work with that. So that's the background. I'm going to close my eyes again and put the outlines of the shell. I've had a good look at them beforehand as I place them on the piece of white paper, so I know roughly where they are. When you do this, if you can imagine big shapes so that they don't get squashed in the corner, think big. And if you've got newspaper underneath, it doesn't matter if they go over the edge one single bit. So, and this is a dry media at the moment, so I'm putting some ridges of that pink shell in now. As I say, my eyes are tight shut, so I haven't a clue where I am. Now I've opened them. Ah, yes, that's okay. The thing with this technique is it really makes you loosen up, and it's really quite fun when you open your eyes and you see what you've done. So now my eyes are open now, and I'm just putting a few ridges on the shells, a few marks with this dark toned violet pastel. So for me, this sketch is going to be about something rather than of something. So it's about the beach. I'm thinking of the beach with shells on, using those shells as a guideline. I've got some lovely colours here, pastels in light tones and medium tones and darker tones. I've speeded up this footage while I put some colour in the pink shell, some nice yellow orange pastel there, and some turquoise, some light turquoise, a light toned turquoise in this area. This is a gorgeous colour, this turquoise. So I'm using my imagination here, although it looks like a grey pebble. It actually, in my mind, it's got lovely turquoisey colours and various colours in there. I'm going for pink, a lovely pink pastel. I love the texture with this paper. I'm just dragging the pastel broadside, put a little ridge effect around the outside, a little bit of pink on the other shells. Just prop my board up because I'm going to use some trigger spray later where the colours were to let the pigment run. I'm actually going to shut my eyes again. I won't do it normally at this stage. I do the rest with my eyes open, but I'm feeling really bold here and I just want to see what effects I can create with my eyes shut. So my eyes are shut tight now, they're closed. I'm doing the shells again, making the outlines more defined. I'm feeling the edges of the paper now and again. But as I say, with the dry media it doesn't really matter if I go off the edges. It's a great freedom doing this and sort of getting like abstract effects. I'm away at the beach at the moment thinking about it. So now I'm going to use the trigger spray. I've opened my eyes and I'm spraying trigger spray on there. And when you do this on this lovely 300 gram Somerset paper, put a nice lot of trigger spray on and watch the wonderful effects you can create as the pigment runs across the paper. Keep tilting the board this way and that to where you want the paint to flow. Lovely textures. Yeah, I'm liking that. My eyes are fully open. In fact, they will be for the rest of it now. More trigger spray. Yeah, I like those effects, nice and soft, but with harder edges in places in this colour sketch. A bit more spray here to get the violet to flow, and then I'm just pouring off the excess. I'll speed the footage up again in a minute as I bring this to a conclusion. I'm seeing like a bit of a shell at the top starting to form. It could be, so I might actually add some more colour up there. Bit of turquoise going on there. Muscle and enlarging the muscle a bit, making it a bit bigger, a few dots and some ridges on that far shell. Bit of pink on the shell at the top I'm going to put. Another lovely technique you can do on this paper with pastels is smudging, so I might do a little bit of smudging later, but a bit more pastel first. This is a little bit of oil pastel dotted about for sandy sort of effects. just if you just relax and just do what you feel, paint from your heart, and at the end, if you're not happy, you can crop it, or you can turn it upside down or on its side, and you get a different look then. Now I'm going to smudge, show you what effects you can get when you smudge the pastel on this wet paper. It tends to intensify the colour, I find. So remember, this is quite abstract. It's just a brilliant way of loosening up. If you're feeling a bit stuck and your work's tight, when that happens to me, I sometimes have a go with this technique, and it's really good fun. You can forget everything else going on around you. I think I'll draw this to a conclusion, and thank you for watching. I hope I've inspired you to have a go. See you next time. Happy painting. I was a teenager when something amazing happened to me, like I was walking on air. The beauty of creation seemed even more beautiful. I had a deep peace inside that stayed with me whatever was going on at that time, as though a veil had been removed, and I began to see spiritually with my eyes. Prayers had been uttered by my lovely Nana, and maybe others, and the resistance I had melted away when I heard and believed that Jesus Christ had died and risen on a cross for everything I ever did wrong. This is true for all who believe, and I pray this for you.